Hello there guys and welcome to a video that should not have happened. And you know why that video should not have happened? The reason is because I joined the race pretty late. I was waiting for qualifying to begin and I asked my team boss when would they invited me, and then he said that the race had already begun. And I later on checked the general stream, the one that the league was streaming on Twitch, and I realized that they were starting the race. They have in fact started, and yeah, that unfortunately meant that I missed the race and I could not participate in it. But yeah, if a bug did not happen during the race, this video would not exist, but it existed because a bug happened during the lobby, and because of it they decided to make another lobby, and with that I could join in that lobby, in that race restart. They allowed me to join that race, even though it had already started, but because they restarted it, I could join, but I have to start from the back of the grid because I did not set any qualifying time. So yeah, with that said, let's begin for the race that I almost did not participate. But before we head into the race, let's head into the pre-race strategy. It's going to be a soft-medium strategy, and of course I grabbed my setup. I almost forgot about it, but fortunately I did remember. I don't think it's going to be a certain soft-medium strategy. I think it'll be changed during the race, depending on the safety cars, but for now it's a starting from soft tires thing. And the fuel is down to 50 kilograms. I decided to not underfill that much because, I don't know, maybe the drivers might get pretty clean and there won't be any safety cars in this race, but still I don't think there are gonna be more than 3 safety cars in this race. So now let's head into the race. And here we are, starting at 17th place. 2 more drivers did not set qualifying times, just like me. And we are on the way for the sandboard race, round number 14 in titanium red. We're already up into 15th. Oh my goodness me, 15th place, and there is some carnage into turn 1. Terrible carnage. I rear-ended someone, and that meant that I damaged my front wing. And oh boy, 1 DNF already, and I almost got DNF'd because if I was more to the inside, maybe I could get my suspension damage, but instead I ran wide. It was between being forced to run wide and wanting to go wide, and oh boy, that was such a carnage that I don't need a replay because I could explain in this real time. And now we are boxing for medium tires, and the engineers recommended me to box for mediums in this lap, and so we are doing that thing because of course we have front wing damage and we want to replace that damaged front wing to a new one and also new tires. So we do a medium strategy for now. Let's do that thing. Unfortunately, I have to deal with some double stack because Yonan was sharing my garage, and that meant that he was going to box in the same box that I was boxing, and so that meant that I am back to dead last. Well, down to dead last because I wasn't at that point until now in this race in dead last. Now I am 18th place. Replaced my front wing and got into new tires. The good thing is that I did not speed in the pit lane, and also that it is during the safety car, and so that means that the field will be bunched up and also that means that I have lots of chances to make a great comeback during the race. We waited until lap 3 for the safety car to end and hope I don't damage once again one of my car components, for example front wing or floor damage, because in this league they use the simulation damage, so I can get floor and side pods and diffuser and even rear wing damage. And meanwhile I overtake Sanif around the outside into turn 2, and now turn 3 that converts into the inside, and we are up into 70th place, and we're seeing that Rafita and Zenith are trying to do wheel-to-wheel battle. I got confused. In reality it was Compania who got overtaken by myself, but Yonan ran wide, and that meant that I am up into 16th place. Zenith overtook Lipton down the inside, and I overtook Rafita down the inside. Pretty good overtake for myself. And meanwhile I am trying to overtake Lipton. But Rafita is trying to overtake me, and he got a little bit too deep, and he's trying to close me the door. He closed me the door, and we are almost down to 17th place. We made contact with Campania, but nothing to worry much about it, and the virtual safety car got deployed. And I said nothing much to worry about it because I did not get any damages. We are in 16th place, and lap 5 had begun. Someone has boxed, and that meant that we're up into 15th place, and hope that we get way more positions than 15th place. Virtual safety car ended exiting turn 10. Fortunately I did not get drive-through penalty, and Lipton got a little bit into an issue because he got overtaken pretty easily by Rafita and myself, and we're up into P14. And meanwhile I'm trying to overtake Rafita and get up into P13, and hope I do pretty soon. I deploy much of my ERS, but I decided to stop when I reached 88%. We begin lap 6, and we get into the Tarzan curve, aka turn 1. Theirs is now enabled for the first time in this race. And meanwhile we head into turns 2 and 3. I got a little bit too more roundy than Rafita, and we are about to go wheel to wheel. I decided to not do it because it isn't pretty appropriate to go wheel to wheel in those corners. We set the fastest sector 1, that is pretty good, and we head into turn 8. I almost lost control to the car, and we head into turn 10, and I'm overtaking Rafita down the inside, and we make that dive bomb successfully, and we're up into P13. Hope we get better places than P13, and hope our race doesn't get ruined by a crash that gets involved us. We're ending lap 8, and we are up into P11. I did some normal overtakes, and Insua retires from the race, and that deployed a safety car, and oh boy, I think he got into a terrible crash heading into turn 1. I think he got anchored with another driver and lost control and went into the wall, damaged his suspension, and then got into the outside wall, and he's out of the race. We are now 17 runners. Still we're staying out because it's already not lap 9, and we are planning to box for another set of mediums in the middle of the race. We're already just a quarter of being completed the race, and we see that my teammate Sertor has a 5-second time penalty, so that means that we are now in the points. Although with the penalties applied, that don't mean that we're up into P9. So yeah, that's a pretty good comeback that I am doing right now. Hope this gets as good as it gets. And on lap 12, the safety car is ending. At the end of lap 12, the safety car ends, and beginning lap 13, racing is once again. The reason why we are in third place is because Lots of drivers that were ahead of me boxed, and that put me up into P4. And then later on, one driver boxed, but he was separated from the other drivers that boxed, and that meant that we are up into P3. Racing is once again beginning lap 13, and hope we can defend our podium for now, and hope we don't get overtaken by Yonan pretty easily. And we see that it is going a little bit easy for me, that defense, and I almost spun because I went too aggressive exiting turn 1. And the reason why it's a bit easy, that defense from third place, it's because Yonan is on hard tires and I'm on mediums. Rafita is out of the race, and that deployed the fourth safety car of the race, the third full course safety car. Yonan is down to 5th place. Salcedo, I think, overtook Yonan, and wow. Oh boy, I was just only expecting less than 3 safety cars in this race, and we are now getting 4 safety cars, even though the race settings is at reduced. The safety car settings are at reduced, and oh boy. Lap 13 out of 36, we are going to box for hard tires, and the reason why we are boxing for hard tires, it's because my engineer recommended me to box for that compound of tires. So I decided to listen to the engineer, and we are boxing for hard tires, maintaining on that tires until the end of the race. The delta is plus 1.9 seconds. We were too slow in that lap during the safety car. Fortunately, we did not speed in the pit lane, and we are changing our tires. We have changed our tires. We are down to P11. No, down to P12. No, down to P13. And yeah, that's the place that we're going to be exiting the pit lane. But the field will be punched up, and also I won't box after this one. So yeah, that means that I'll do a great comeback and go back into the top 5. And meanwhile, let's get into the punched up field. Let's get up our tires, and let's wait until the safety car ends. At the end of lap 15, the safety car ends. We are heating up our tires so we can get into the optimal temperature, although it's going to be a little bit hard because we are on hard tires and it takes more time for the tires to get heated up. So yeah, I'm a bit on a disadvantage. We are in P13, we begin lap 16, and so the race. And we are heading into turn 1, and we are around the outside with Lipton, and we overtake him around the outside into turn 1. And we are up into P2, my goodness, P12, and we saw that De La Paz spun, and also Campanilla spun, and we are up back into the points now, and I am trying to overtake Salazar and Milton in the main straight at the end of this lap. Meanwhile, we are maintaining behind these drivers, or will I, because Salazar is gonna be overtaken by myself down the inside into turn 10. I am overtaking him, and we do that overtake, but it's not completed yet. Salazar might overtake me down the inside into turn 11, and yeah, he overtook me, and we're down to P10. And yeah, I tried to overtake him in the main straight, although I don't think it'll happen because Salazar is gonna overtake Milton, but Milton is going to box, and we are back to P9. Alex has a 5-second time penalty, so that means that we're in P8 with the penalties applied, and Salazar is in 7th. Oh, Alex is going a little bit slow because he's pretty fast, and I did not expect him to be that slow for him, and he's just only fighting for like 6th place, I think so, yeah. And we head into turn 8. Oh boy, we got some underbody damage. That is not good, although it is just a little bit light damage, but still damage is damage, and so that means that I'll be a bit slower. That is pretty unfortunate. Oh man. In this league, remember that it is on simulation damage. They set on that damage, and so that means that I can get underbody, side pod, diffuser, and rear wing damages, and not only front wing damage. So yeah, I got underbody damage, but hope that does not ruin entirely my race. Lap 19, we are up into P8 because CLBT boxed, and oh my, Luisto is out of the race, and that deployed the 5th safety car of the race, and so that means that we reached the limits of safety cars that we can have in the race, in a 50% race distance race. And oh boy, even though the safety car settings are reduced, we still got 5 safety cars, 1 virtual, 4 full course. We're staying out, and oh boy, we see that we have slight front wing damage, especially in the left side. That is something that I haven't noticed during the race, because my TV decided to see it as a entirely green color, and meanwhile in the monitor that I am editing this video decided to make a little bit more noticeable the color, that it is getting some light damage in the front wing. So yeah, that's something that I haven't noticed until I edited this video. Meanwhile, we see that Salsel and Zenith are in soft tires, and I got a little bit scared because I thought that everyone else that were behind me was on soft tires, and I decided to check, and we see that only 4 drivers that are behind me are on soft tires for now, and 3 of them are right behind me. Oh boy, I think I'm gonna get pretty overtaken by these drivers and gonna get down to P7, but well, maybe karma will hit and they might get pretty worn out their soft tires and I might overtake them. Lap 21 and the safety car ends. We're still in 4th place, and our front tires are barely getting into the optimal temperature. Meanwhile, we see that Salsel is trying to overtake me into turn 1. I decided to defend pretty good, and we head into turn 1, still in 4th place. And so will I maintain in that place for as much as I can, although it might not be worth it to fight like a warrior, because I might lose more time than I would if I let Salsel pass me. So maybe I won't fight that much, and maybe he might overtake me into turn 9, maybe into turn 10. We head into turn 8, and now into turn 9 he is still behind me, but into turn 10 might be a different case. And oh wait, I'm still in 4th place. We end sector 2 to begin sector 3, and Salsel is trying to overtake me down inside into turn 11. I decided to not defend that much because he's on soft tires and I'm on hards, but Zenith is trying to overtake me around the outside into turn 13. Still, I decided to not give so much fight. We're down to 6th place, and Andres, my teammate, is overtaking me, and we're down to 7th place. And we head into turn 1, wheel to wheel with my teammate. I'm on the inside, and well, we are down to P7, but at least I got overtaken by the 3 drivers who were on soft tires and not another driver that wasn't these drivers. So, well, at least maybe I might overtake them. So let's not panic that much, and instead let's focus a little bit with Cerbiti, who is trying to overtake me, but I'm gonna defend my 7th place, and well, hope it goes successfully. 24, and Cerbiti is overtaking me down the inside into turn 1. DRS is now enabled, and Cerbiti gets a better exit than me, and we are down to P8. That is unfortunate, but into turn 9, we see that Celebrity has locked his rear brakes and his spun, and we are back to P7. And yeah, that is how I can place without needing to do anything in offense to him. In this case, Celebrity. So hope we can maintain that place and later on get up into few more places. And on lap 25, heading into turn 9, we see that Andres is out of the race, and Salazar and Andres got into a terrible incident, and I got too much to the inside. Man, I got a terrible mistake that I did, because I went too much to the outside. I said to go to the outside, and man, Salazar got his front wing destroyed, and he could not steer that much as me, and I decided to push him more to the inside, but man, unfortunately I forgot that this was on simulation damage, and we made contact with him, and I damaged my front wing, and so that means that I'll be pretty slow, and with that my race got ruined. There's a mistake that might cost me lots of places. That was a terrible mistake that could have been prevented if I went to the inside instead of the outside. And I started to go to the outside because I thought that Salazar was going to the inside and he might block me and DNF me, but man, well, let's move on and hope we can maintain our 6th place. And on lap 28, while I was maintaining my place from De La Paz, I unfortunately ran wide exiting turn 8, and that meant that I lost some seconds, enough seconds that Marco De La Paz overtook me, and we are down to 7th place. Celebrity is out of the race, but unfortunately we reached the maximum amount of safety cars, and if something pretty terribly occurs, even though it is a extremely horrible crash that maybe in real life if that happened you could have killed the driver, it won't deploy any safety car, not even a virtual safety car. And man, that is pretty unfortunate, because if there was a safety car or maybe a virtual safety car, I could take an advantage on that thing and boxed for soft tires to replace my front wing, but that didn't happen, and my race got more ruined. But at least can I maintain that 7th place? At least. There are some good news and bad news. The good news is that I could maintain 7th place, and I got even better because I'm up into 6th place now. But it was only because Borja Alonso got disqualified from the race. And the bad news is that I had the opportunity to overtake De La Paz, or at least fight him, but unfortunately my front wing damage prevented me to overtake him, and even though I tried my best, I could not do that thing, and De La Paz and myself have run out of ERS, and even though my gap with him is less than a second and I get the RS, I unfortunately cannot be capable to overtake him. Zenith wins the race, and meanwhile we finished 6th place, a frustrating 6th place, and even though we started from 17th place, it could have been better. I could have finished into 4th place, maybe into the podium, but these mistakes I have done made me get me down to 6th place. And look at that damage that I have gotten at the end of the race. I got more floor damage, and I think it was because maybe the air made the floor get more damage, and yeah, I got a lot of tire wear, and of course that front wing damage that I got from Salazar. Salcedo wins second place. I regret saying wins, but instead only gets second place. And Seltor, my teammate, gets third place. Zenith, of course, wins the third of the day. Oh man, it could have been way better for me. But here there are the race results. Zenith, of course, wins the race, as I said early on, followed by Salcedo, then my teammate Seltor, then Destro in 4th place, then Marco de la Paz, then myself, then Ionan, then Ismael, and Campanilla is the final driver who finished the race. Although Milton did not finish the race, he still got classified as 10th place, and he got fastest lap, so he gets the same points as the driver who finished 9th, and the others got the NF. So we see an interesting thing, and it is that the top 9 finished in a place higher than they started, just like me, and the other drivers that got down places were the ones who did not finish. So yeah, that was an interesting fact in these race results. We see that Zenith won from 19th. He won from last place. He did a last first. So yeah, kudos on him. Kudos on him. That is why he got driver of the day, because he started from last place and won the race. Meanwhile, I started from 17th place, thinking that I was going to start in last and finish 6th place. And maybe I could get finished P3, maybe to P2, but I got that front wing damage and that ruined my race, but that did not ruin entirely my race because I still got points. So that is it, guys. Hope you have enjoyed this video that almost did not exist. I almost did not participate in this race, but fortunately that bug happened and they had to do another lobby and I could join in that restarted lobby. So yeah, have a nice day and see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.